Welcome to the Fatherhood News Podcast. Please follow us here and subscribe to us on YouTube for your daily news headlines of all the news from the fatherhood space in Elite Dangerous. Here are today's headlines on the 18th of November 3306.
Good evening and welcome to Cycle 2 of our special program today, coming to you again from the war-torn star system of Badaba. I am Jim Cooper reporting live from Arrhenius Arsenal.
And I am Hannah Williams with the frontline workers here at Misty Summit Surgery.
We start today's broadcast with Cycle 2 of the war in Badaba. All shipping lanes are now peppered with conflict zones. The Fatherhood security forces have warned that all citizens should not travel intersystem. Waiting barges have been cancelled and scavengers are warned of fake signal sources, with reports of ambushes on the increase. The Fatherhood security forces have stated that their response time has increased by 52%. Here at Arrhenius Arsenal, a strategic stalemate is at hand with ships patrolling the star trenches around the conflict zones, both sides waiting for the other to strike. Badaba interstellar Type 6s are docked at Roberts Hub fully loaded with repair limpets to support, while the nationals of Badaba have been interdicting any pilot that is found not to be aligned to a side in the war, and confiscated their cargo. Stay tuned to the Fatherhood News for all the latest on this unfolding situation.
Reports from the front of the war between Badaba Gold Fortune Industry and LHS 1483 Values Party shows that Badaba Gold Fortune Industry have lost ground in the first wave of attacks. Reports of an armada of more than 52 ships from the Independent Pilots Federation have been systematically completing massacre missions for the LHS 1483 Values Party.
KOF Life Solutions forces are gathering around Atom Silo yet again in BD plus 69238. Sources say that the Confederate faction of the 3rd Independent Fleet may try and take the structure by force.
Qui-11 Crimson Natural Organization and Gladuchin for Equality have both issued an evacuation order from their structures in Qui-11. Qui-11 Gold Dragons faction have sent waves of retrofitted Type 6s and haulers to monopolize the refugee passenger missions that both factions have issued on Shakes Progress and Hopkins Ring.
Fortuna Life Company takes a step closer in their bid to control Mini Horizons in LHS 197 with the main shipping lane now under their control following the fallback of Social Manamaya Democrats, who have stated that this is not a retreat, and they will defend this installation and win the war in the end.
LP417-213 Power Solutions have halted their advancement on Creighton Works and have issued a statement to the civilians of Creighton Works urging them to leave before the next cycle. However, the Fatherhood News has learned that the forces of liberals of LP417-213 are now using the remaining citizens as human shields and have said they will shoot down any ships that attempts to leave.
An emergency board meeting has been scheduled for the next cycle by the LeBay State Holdings, following a third day of losses in their bid to take Shuttleworth Terminal, and they may even default on payments for Hertzfeld Depot that would allow Green Party of Zasha to control both facilities at the end of this war.
LHS 1681 Confederacy continue to dominate new V491 per se law party with record-breaking casualties now scattered around the V491 per se star system. Some pilots are saying they are unable to navigate due to the sheer volume of unidentified signal sources that are spamming the navigation console.
In breaking news, the Fatherhood have just agreed an election for Guest Hub and have staked McCandless Settlement to expedite this election. We bring you this statement from the Fatherhood News press officer Caitlin Marsh.
Since our arrival in Ramines, we have faced a pushback and a less than warm welcome. I would like to reiterate that we are here in peace. But if the factions will not work with us on our terraforming projects, then our hands are forced and drastic actions must be done. The Fatherhood Central Command have agreed to begin takeover negotiations for Guest Hub, and to allow this to progress at speed. We will stake control of McCandless Settlement. It didn't need to come to this, but as I said before, Central Command feel that they had no other choice.
Orion Space Security have crushed Blue Life Systems on the third day of elections for NIE settlement. The best result that Blue Life Systems can hope for is a hung election now to allow them an early runoff election to try to win NIE settlement.
Elections for Slim Chromium Drilling and Wolf Ring has started with rallies held in the main central hub of Wolf Ring. These have remained civil for the time being, with both parties pledging to conduct a free and fair election.
LFT 269 Corp suffer another round of election defeat in Lynn, while the increased donations to the Arnamil Systems faction and pilots choosing reputation and influence instead of monetary rewards have officially put that faction into a state of boom.
STKM 1-616 Allied Limited have edged another win in the fifth day of election to maintain control over Yang Camp. However, LHS 1848 State Incorporated commanders are fighting back and have encouraged all their supporters to keep the dream alive, and in a bold move have applied for a permit for a victory parade in Yang Camp.
The Kier Gang are increasing in influence following the Conference of Anarchy, with only 0.7% separating them from the Kier Dynamic Company. Sources within the Fatherhood say that the numbers of all Anarchy factions within the Fatherhood star system are now a regular agenda item in the Central Command daily briefings.
And finally, some good news. Heijiangai have officially opened all docking bays that were damaged by the celebrations when Slothbot Peralta returned from his historic journey around all 42 regions of the known space.
Tell me, Jim, have you ever ran missions for an Anarchy faction before?
I tried not to, but before moving to the Fatherhood News, I had a Sidewinder on loan and I think I ran missions for every faction in Heijiangai.
You still have that Sidewinder, don't you? Is it the red one with E-rated modules?
Yes, but I have a project to A-rate every module and even engineer it to G5.
Wow, you're going to have to run laps around Dav's Hope for weeks on end.
Please don't remind me. I think we will leave everyone with that nightmare image. I have been Jim Cooper.
Yes, a nightmare indeed. And I'm Hannah Williams. Remember, commanders don't dream of the stars, fly amongst them. Thank you and good night.